Retro gaming handhelds have improved in leaps and bounds recently, and this top 5 list will highlight my favorites, ranging in price from as low as $60 US to $200. All the handhelds in this list have their own review linked in the video description. I'll also provide the shopping links, which I'd appreciate if you use, as they really do help keep the channel going. So, without any further fluffing around, here are my best 5 handhelds for 2023. Oh, actually, just one quick message first to keep the lights on. The EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard app is very simple to use and can help you recover your lost data, whether it's on your internal drive, USB storage, or SD card. It also has support for repairing damaged photos and videos. Check out the free trial in the video description to find out what it can recover on your storage drives. Coming in at number 5 is the Miyoo Mini Plus. This vertical handheld comes in at around $72 US on Amazon.com, but if you don't mind waiting for shipping a bit longer from China, Geek Buying often has it cheaper. It was $60 US while I was making this video. The Miyoo Mini Plus is a small vertical handheld with good build quality and a 3.5 inch screen compared to the 2.8 inch with the regular Miyoo Mini, which I thought was too small. Even with a low price, the screen is nice and bright with good color reproduction. The handheld is powerful enough to emulate systems up to the original PlayStation, and systems below that like the Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and plenty of others work great. This one doesn't include analog sticks, and the buttons have a bit more space to be properly laid out. Overall, it feels pretty good. The included operating system is Linux, and you can quickly jump in and play games without messing around. But you can also install the custom Onion OS for an even better experience if you don't mind tinkering with your system. Otherwise, it's just a matter of adding games to the provided SD card, which comes with a bunch to get you started. The battery is replaceable and it's powered by a USB-C cable. My only complaints? Well, the speaker placement is easily covered by your thumb when pressing the B button, but of course, you can use earphones. And being a vertical handheld, I just don't find it as comfortable to use as a horizontal one. Overall though, the Miyoo Mini Plus is a great handheld for the dollars. It gets around 5 hours of playtime and is highly recommended. And at number 4, we have another vertical handheld, the Game Boy style Anbernic RG353V, which comes in at $140 US for the dual OS Android Linux variant, or save yourself $20 and get the Linux only VS model for $120 on Amazon. Again, Geek Buying has these cheaper when I checked, but shipped from China. This handheld has a 3.5 inch screen and also comes with analog sticks, which aren't the most comfortable to use, but not bad for a vertical handheld. The 353V and VS are rocking an RK3566 chip, which is powerful enough to play Sega Dreamcast games. Everything under it, minus Sega Saturn, runs great, such as Nintendo 64 and DS games thanks to the touchscreen. The dual boot V model with Android gives you some extra options such as streaming with Moonlight. But if you just want to play some retro games easily and quickly and never plan to use Android, the VS model might be worth getting to save some dollars. You can also install the custom GelOS operating system for maximum awesomeness. One cool thing with this handheld is that it has video out using the mini HDMI port. It maxes out at 720p output. The bundled SD card has a bunch of games on it, and you'll get around 5 hours of battery life on this handheld. I originally reviewed the Retroid Pocket 3, not the Plus, which came out soon after. Still, it's very similar but has a more powerful processor, so be aware of that if you're looking at my review. The Retroid Pocket 3 Plus can be had for as low as $180 US on Amazon and is a widescreen handheld with a large 4.7 inch touchscreen. This one runs on Android. The button placement, especially the ones on the sides, aren't great, but at least the essentials on the front are decent. The analog sticks could and should be bigger though. The biggest appeal for this handheld is PlayStation Portable games. PSP games are widescreen and the Pocket 3 Plus will play most, if not the entire library, at full speed and at double or triple the original resolution. It's also powerful enough to play some GameCube and PlayStation 2 games, but the experience isn't the greatest. For 4:3 aspect ratio systems, you'll have black bars on the sides. The Retroid Pocket 3 Plus also has micro HDMI out, allowing 720p output on a monitor or TV. The biggest downer with this handheld is the amount of setup you need to do to get it up and running. This is not a power on and start playing system. You'll need to set up the emulators and games before playing, which takes time, even if it has a front end, which helps somewhat. Oh, and if you're also interested in streaming with Moonlight or playing Android games, then this is most likely the handheld for you. The Retroid Pocket 3 Plus will give you around 6 hours of battery life depending on which system you play, and it's a good option. Anbernic's RG353M handheld is really one of my favorites. What I love most about it is the aluminium alloy casing, which makes it feel very premium. Yep, it's mostly metal. You can find it for $160 US on Amazon, or Geek Buying has it slightly cheaper shipped from China. This handheld features the same RK3566 chip found in Anbernic's vertical handheld, the RG353V. It also has a 3.5-inch screen and is dual boot Android and Linux, so you can quickly jump in and just start playing some games. You can also install the custom GelOS for the best retro gaming experience. The RG353M can handle up to Sega Dreamcast and under. While it can play a bunch of PlayStation Portable titles, you have black bars at the top and bottom, which makes it pretty small and not the greatest experience. The whole analog sticks are really nice, and there's also HDMI output at 720p if you want to hook it up to a TV or monitor. Anbernic's RG353M is a beautiful handheld, which is nice to hold in the hands, quite portable, and manages around 5 hours of game time. I don't have too many complaints with this one, apart from wanting it to be bigger and have a better processor. Still, I use it often, and it's easily one of my favorites. That's why it grabs second place. And the winner is Anbernic's RG405M, although it was a very close race. The RG405M also features a premium metal casing and is larger, with a 4-inch screen and faster processor than the 353M that nabbed second place. This handheld is using the exact same processor found in the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. The RG405M is around $200 US, but can be had lower if bought shipped from China on Geek Buying. Having a 4-inch screen makes those retro game systems just that much more appealing, and this handheld can emulate most up to the Sega Dreamcast beautifully and at higher resolutions. As with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, you can also play some PS2 and GameCube titles, but it's a limited number of games and not the best experience. PSP games also work great, but have black borders at the top and bottom. I was worried the D-pad being placed below the analog stick would be a deal breaker, but it didn't feel too uncomfortable. I'd still prefer the D-pad on top, but I'm okay with it. My biggest complaint with the RG405M is that it only runs on Android. Anbernic does include a custom emulation launcher for Android, allowing you to play games quickly and without much messing around, so that helps a lot. Those interested in custom software will be happy to hear Garlic OS is being worked on and should release soon. I got around 7 hours of game time on the Anbernic RG405M, which is great. But be aware this handheld has a slightly dimmer screen than the others on this list and doesn't include HDMI out. That being said, everything else is so nice that it just manages to take the #1 spot. There are many handhelds out there and it all depends on your needs, but I hope you've found one that suits you. For more in-depth reviews, they're all linked in the video description, as are my Amazon and Geek Buying shopping links. Thanks for checking out this top 5 list for 2023, and I've got an upcoming handheld review for the Powkiddy RGB30 coming soon, which I'll link here when it's done. Cheers!